Hi, here's an activity that I want to do together. It is matching up histograms with box plots. So we've seen a stacked histogram and box plot where the histogram's on top and the box plot's on the bottom for the same data. And they give us some of the same information, but also some different information. This activity is great because it lets us see how the histograms and box plots relate to each other. So we're going to use an applet, and here's the link. I'll put it in the description of the video, and I also have it on my website. Let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll match these up later on. So let me open up my app. I've got it right here. Okay, so this is a matching. So we can drag these over to the appropriate box plot. Now, when you try it on your own, they're randomized. So yours might not look, if you're trying it right now, yours won't be the same as mine. So maybe watch a couple of mine and then you can try some of your own. Okay, so let's see. One thing I look for is, do you see how this one is narrower overall? There's a gap here. So this is going to be a shorter box plot overall. So this is one tool I use. So they do have scales over here, which are different, but the scale always matches the particular histogram that it goes with, and these are all based on random data sets. So this one has to go with this one because you see how it's shorter right here? These extend all the way to the entire box, okay? So now it's just between these two, and they look pretty similar. The ranges, which is all the way max to min, is the same. But this one's more symmetric because the median is more in the center of the box. Where here, the median is more to the right of the box. And another thing to remember is that on the box plot, we're graphing the quartiles. So each segment, this whisker, this part of the box, this part of the box, and this whisker, each one of them represents 1/4 of the data because those are the quartiles. So if we have one segment like this that's really narrow, that means all that quarter of the data is really bunched up together. So that tells me that this one goes with this one because see how this is much taller, this is all bunched up, and then this is a little bit more spread out. So this overall, even though it's bimodal, overall this is more skewed to the left. And then this one's a little more symmetric because this peak is higher, also bimodal. Notice that this one's unimodal. We can't tell how many modes there are from the box plot. That's why we want the histogram and the box plot together. But we can tell skew from the box plot because if the segments that are longer are more spread out. Okay, so I got to check my work. Press get true values, and luckily we got them right. Sometimes they're very, very close because they're randomly generated. So let's try another one, new data set. Okay, these look quite different, so you should be able to figure this one out. 2 unimodal, 1 bimodal. Definitely skewed to the right. Overall, this looks skewed to the right. It's the same shape as this one, it's just that we're missing this middle part. And this one's skewed to the left. So let's look for which one of these looks skewed to the left. Let's say this one goes there. And then, these two, let's see. They both look skewed to the right. This one has some outliers over here. This one doesn't. This one goes up a little more steeply right here. So that's why I'm going to say this one has this shorter quartile right here because this one goes up more steeply. But these two are even tough for me, so don't worry. It takes a little practice. So because this is going up more steeply, I'm going to think this quartile would be shorter. And let's see if I'm right. Okay, got it right. Let's do a new data set. Okay, feel free to pause it if you want to test yourself. Okay, this one has a bunch of outliers. So we've got bimodal overall skewed to the left. This one is got a little higher peak, bimodal, a little higher peak here. And this one is also skewed to the left. Okay, so I'm going to say, kind of similar to the last one, I'm going to say this one goes here because it goes up more steeply right here, which would give us a shorter bar, a shorter whisker. And this one also is much more skewed to the left, so I'm going to put that here. This one overall is more symmetric, and this box plot looks more symmetric because all the four quarters are more even than in here. Okay, so I'll do a couple more. Feel free to just play around with it on your own. It really just takes practice. If you want to stop it and do your own, that's totally fine. Okay, and like I said, sometimes you'll get some that are so close together that I can't even tell. Okay, these are pretty close, aren't they? This might be one that's really close. And then this one's bimodal. So overall, this one's more spread out because you've got these two peaks that are a little further apart. The other ones have a single peak. So that's why I think this one is the longest one. See how this is wider? This box is wider than those two boxes. And then these both look skewed. It's very slightly skewed. Oh, this range is a little shorter, right? We don't have any data right here, which looks more like this. It ends right here, whereas this one goes all the way to the edge. See if I'm right. Yes. And one more. Okay. Yes, I like this. When one of them is shorter, that's easier. That is missing right there. And then we can use elimination. Okay, one of these is more symmetric. One of these is more skewed to the right because this side of the box is longer. And this one's actually a little more skewed to the left because the taller peak is here and then it goes down. On this one, the taller peak is here. Okay, I hope that's right. We'll see. Okay, it is. Okay, so now that we've done a bunch of those, let's do the ones on the paper. And that way you have this in your notes. Okay, you can try it first if you want. Pause it. Okay, so we've got 3 bimodals. We've got one that looks more skewed to the right, one that's more symmetric, and one that's more skewed to the left. So this one is definitely more skewed to the right. So I'm going to say that one goes straight across. And then we've got one that's a little more skewed to the left. This peak is higher, and so I think this one is going to go here. This one overall is more symmetric, so I'm thinking that because there's more in the middle, so this one's going to go right there. Let me just check my own notes. Yep, that's right. And then there's one more on the next page. Let me grab it here. So try this one if you haven't yet. Okay, so looking at the box plots, well, actually looking at the histograms, this one's skewed to the right, and this one's more skewed to the left. This one's bimodal. It has a higher peak here, but overall it might be more symmetric. Let's see. Also, we've got a little shorter range on this one. The data seems to be the shortest range, so I'm going to say that goes there. And then this one should be more skewed to the right. So that would be that one. And this is overall a little more skewed to the left because this is a taller peak. And then it goes down. like that. Let me just double check myself. Yep. All right, so I hope this helps you relate the histograms and box plots a little bit better. Next thing is try example 4 and 5, comparing different groups with side-by-side box plots. Yeah, both of those involve that, and then we'll talk about that in the next video.